dreams are built to last. Drivers ready, hearts are strong. Victory feels like a song. Wheels they spin, rubber burns. Corners come and swiftly turn. Drivers ready, hearts are strong. Victory feels like a song. Wheels they spin, rubber burns. Corners come and swiftly turn. Race to the finish line. Feel the rush, it's time to shine. Pushing metal, pure and fine. In this premium racing grind. Race to the finish line. Feel the rush, it's time to shine. Pushing metal, pure and fine. In this premium racing grind. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Grind. Uh-oh. Racing grind. Pit crew ready, tools in hand. Every second by a strand. Fuel and tires, quick change. Back to track and destined range. Pit crew ready, tools in hand. Every second by a strand. Strand. Fuel and tires, quick change. Back to track and destined range. Race to the finish line. Feel the rush, it's time to shine. Pushing metal, pure and fine. In this premium racing grind. Race to the finish line. Feel the rush, it's time to shine. Pushing metal, pure and fine. In this premium racing grind. Uh-oh. Grind. Uh-oh. Racing grind. Uh-oh.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as the Premium Stock Car Racing League gets ready to rumble here from the beautiful Darlington Raceway. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as we will get ready here for the Elrod Strong 150 here this evening. We're going to jump right into the action here, qualifying already out there on the speedway. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to jump right in to our opening command here by Lonnie Crider. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please remove your hat for our opening command by Lonnie Crider here this evening.
It's time for some more exciting racing here tonight. Boy, the point system are getting tight and every point counts in the race. Tonight, we have another special guest that's going to give that command, and we're going to turn it over to him right now.
Alrighty, we got another special guest here, another special video for everyone to watch here this evening before we get ready to rock and roll.
Alright, I'm the driver of the 17. I'm named Blake Creech, and gentlemen, start your engines.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give up a hand there as we get our opening commands here this evening. We'll get ready to get our national anthem in. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please rise and remove your hat for our national anthem, brought to you by Landon Burbage. Alrighty, give it up there to Landon Burbage coming in with our national anthem here on the evening as these drivers out there on the speedway qualifying coming to a close, and we're going to get ready to rock and roll here for 150 laps for the Elrod Strong 150. We're going to pull in Mr. Jonathan Gaston right now. He's going to give us a little description here behind the name of this evening's broadcast, as this one is brought to you by the Gaston's iRacing Graphics, a throwback night here for these drivers. So let's pull Jonathan in here real quick before we get these drivers rolling out there on the speedway. Hey Jonathan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
I got a copy.
Jonathan, brother, you know, a big night here. A lot of drivers out there on the racetrack running special throwback paint schemes brought to you by yourself at the Gaston's iRacing Graphics. But we know the name of this this one's a little special one here. So take us through the Elrod Strong 150 here and the meaning behind it here tonight.
Yeah, we got a young man that goes to my high school. He had a horrible car wreck last week. I witnessed the whole thing. I was the first one to him. And I wanted to dedicate this race to him and his family. The young man's he's surpassing expectations. He's getting better. He's still got a long way to go, but he's shown a lot of dedication. And the Lord was definitely with him.
Well, we're glad he was there. We're glad to keep him safe and hope for a quick recovery there for Elrod. And a very special thing here, being able to name this race after him and have him riding on board, not only with yourself, but all these drivers here this evening running for the Elrod 150 here this evening, the Elrod Strong 150 here tonight. All right, Jonathan, good luck out there. Have fun, as I know you guys are going to get ready to rock and roll here in just a little bit, brother. We're happy to have you up here in the booth, but I know you want to get in there and talk game plan with your Old Dogs Racing crew.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for doing this for us, and hopefully we put on a good show here.
Absolutely, brother. We look forward to it, and we look forward to seeing all the action. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Jonathan Gaston, giving us a good shout out right there. Elrod Strong 150. Elrod, we hope for a quick and easy recovery for you, brother, as we get ready to rock and roll. Drivers starting to steamroll down the front straightaway into quarter number one and bringing us to the green flag here tonight in this one. It is the Beyond Detailing number 77. That is Aiden Lucas, who will bring us to the green flag. To his outside in the Greg Biffle throwback paint scheme is the National Guard. Never forget number 16 of Matthew Wood. Starting in position number 3 in the one ride, that is the Oklahoma machine of Jordan Hand, whose outside is the STP number 72 of Jonathan Gaston. Landon Burbage going to be starting there in position at number 5 on the speedway. He's in the Skull Bandit machine. And then we see Brian Underwood there to his outside. The 54, Thomas Horvath there in position number 7 with Chris Stange to his outside. William Connolly, Ben Gleason, Ryan Haller, Josh Crider, Dylan Carrier, Jordan Crider, Noah Blackwell, Dallas Seward, Grant Applegate, Kevin Winker, Farrell Robbins, Paula Court, Nathan Brookover, and Chris Getz bringing up the rear of the field as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here from the beautiful Darlington Raceway as the Elrod Strong 150 gets underway to the outside lane. A power move by Matthew Wood to put himself out in front is down the back straightaway, the Boeing back straightaway here at Darlington. And man, oh man, oh man, a great opening lap here for that 16 ride as Matthew Wood takes the early race lead. Down and out of quarter number 4, he will lead lap number 1 of 150. So we got a lot of laps to run here this evening. It's hot, it's slick, it's very, very treacherous out there on the racetrack. It's going to make these drivers work their butts off here this evening for each and every one of you to enjoy as we see caution flag number 1 already coming out here in this one. So caution flag coming out here on lap number 2. An early race incident here. And unfortunately, looks like Dylan Carrier, Paul LaCourte, Farrell Robbins all getting tied up here in this one. Let's see if we can take a look back and see what happens here. It's, bunch of drivers piled in here together. I'm not sure if the 88 ride gets some contact here, gets some help. He's got the 9 ride right there behind him. That is Noah Blackwell. Unfortunately, looks like did Blackwell get a piece of him? I think he did here. So Blackwell getting in there, gets a piece of him. You already see that rear end damage on the 88 ride. Well, he's going to get a little bit more. He pancakes the outside fence, bounces down the racetrack, back down into the NJB Designs number 9 ride. Skids right in front of Grant Applegate. Nowhere to go here for Applegate as he's trying to get that Ricky Bobby inspired number 57 ride checked up here. Then you see that 76 of Farrell Robbins come sliding in there. Heavy contact for him and heavy contact for the Kodiak number 41 machine as well, Paul LaCourte. So LaCourte getting in there as well. A ton of damage for 4 of our competitors here early on in this race, man. That's a tons of carnage right there. Tons of damage for a few of these drivers early on in this one. Let's play this back and see if we can get a look here on board the helmet cam of the 76 of Farrell Robbins. As Farrell rolling down the front straightaway, doesn't really see it happening, sees a little smoke, track clear, then all of a sudden the 88 sliding right in front of him. He's trying to get checked up. Unfortunately, could not get checked up quick enough, and that is a ton of damage for that number 76 ride. Tons of damage for the 41 as well of Paul LaCourte as they're both still down pit side getting repairs done to their cars. We do see the 88 rolling back out onto the racetrack and making another pit stop down pit side to get more repairs done early on in this race. And that's a place they do not want to be, is early in this race trying to get your car fixed up, trying to get that thing repaired, and trying to get back out there on the speedways. We still got a lot of laps and a long time before we see our checkered flag. So they're going to have some time to work on their car, try to fix them up, try to get a little bit more competitive out there on the speedway. But as you're trying to get your car just repaired and trying to figure out what's wrong with it or anything else, all these other drivers are honing in on their craft. They're running fast lap times. They're seeing what these tires are doing. They're learning. They're experiencing everything that this track has to do. And as you're trying to play catch up, you're going to be doing it all night long with an early race caution flag here, an early race contact. You're going to be behind the ball here all night long in an ever-changing speedway here like Darlington Raceway. As the sun starts to set, this track will start to build up a little bit more grip, make things a little bit more racy out there on the racetrack, and it'll make for a little bit different style of racing as these drivers, they'll go from, fairly loose out there on the speedway to a pretty tight race car. And drivers that are loose right now and are tightening up their race cars, what it could possibly do is make that car too tight later on, where it's making your car even too hard to handle on the other end of things. So you can find that little happy medium at some point in time, but that can go away in a quick hurry here at Darlington as we get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here once again. In this one is Nelson Johns. What's good, Nelson? Nelson coming in, showing the love, says, "What's up, Mr. Aaron? What's good, Nelson? How are you, brother? How you doing this evening? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Saturday as we get ready to play here once again at Darlington Raceway. Out in front, it's Matthew Wood and Aiden Lucas, 1 and 2 on the speedway as Wood down through the Geico restart zone, hammers down on that throttle here once again. It's Tower Operator coming in, showing the love, says hashtag Winker Nation, and coming in with the Beyond Detailing as well. Beyond Detailing coming in, showing the love, says yes sir, he says yes sir, that Beyond Detailing 77 right at Aiden Lucas right there in second. Could not get that jump that the 16 ride got in our opening lap here, as out in front Matthew Wood going to continue to lead the way, but Lucas right there ready to strike in position number 2. Landon Burbage in that School Bandit number 2 machine rolling there in the 3rd position. Then we see that one ride, the Oklahoma machine there of Jordan Hand in position number 4. Jonathan Gastons in the Gastons iRacing Paint Schemes number 72 ride there in that 5th position. Then we see Brian Underwood in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Gastons iRacing Graphics number 6 there in that 6th position. Then we see Chris Stange, Thomas Horvath, then William Connolly and Ben Gleason rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. It's Gleason rolling the hot dogs, the Oscar Mayer machine out there on the racetrack. Let's see if we can get a good look here. We do have Ben Gleason up in the webcams here as well. One of the first times we've seen Gleason put his name into this one as my boy Dustin Benton says, Peacemaker, sup up, my boy? What's up, brother? What's up, my dude? How are you tonight, Big D? Big D coming in, showing the love in this one. John Schmidt as well, coming in with that like on the stream. How are you? Papa Schmidt coming in, showing the love here this evening as Dustin, my boy. You know what? You know what's up, brother. You know what's up, my boy. You know, racing, a little racing out there on the Speedway, getting prepped to lose a Week 2 fantasy draft after Cuba gets absolutely concussed and retired on Thursday night, taking me pretty much out of contention of our fantasy draft there. I'm pretty much done now. Fantasy League in the drain. See you later. As Nelson says, the lady in black is mean to race cars. The lady in black is definitely mean to race cars. And there's going to be a lot of drivers getting those Darlington stripes, getting up into that outside fence here quite a bit on the evening. As don't you worry, Dustin. I'll get you picks, brother. I'll get you picks. I was busy all day, brother. I was busy all day, okay? I just hopped on like half an hour ago, okay? Give a man a break. As Albert Anderson, Mr. Anderson, coming in, showing the love as well. Dustin says, trade me your 2 RBs. I mean, you give me my entry fee back, I might think about it. As out in front, it is still that beautiful number 16 ride, but we were going to jump right on board here with the 66 as he's trying to deal with Noah Blackwell. We'll get a good look here in this one as, yeah, it's definitely a fire sale in my camp. That is for certain, okay? I'm all about execution, and right now I feel like we should just execute my whole team, you know? We better do that. We better do that as Ben Gleason has had his webcam on for us here this evening, so this is a bit of a specialty event for us to have Ben Gleason and the webcam up and on for us. A blurred out background here, beautiful looking guy, beautiful looking car out there on the Speedway, rolling around the racetrack, having a great time here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Shout out to Mr. Gleason being able to jump in here with the webcam as well, and being able to show off, you know, what he's doing here behind the wheel and in the simulator, rolling out there in his living room or in his gaming room or wherever he is out there on the racetrack. As Kurt Jansen says, bring that weenie mobile home in first, Ben. Cheered on Mr. Gleason out there on the racetrack. As Albert Anderson says, hashtag Winker Nation. Winker Nation coming in, showing all the love here in this one. Dustin says, sent, laugh out loud. Let's go, let's go. I'll do it, I'll do it. I don't even care. I don't even care. I mean, I could probably just take Brock Purdy off my buddy's team, but you know, I'm not going to do that. That's mean. That's rough. I wouldn't do that. But these guys having a lot of fun, having a good time out there on the racetrack. All these drivers hopping in here with the driver webcams, giving us a good look here at what they're doing behind the webcam and in behind the steering wheel of their setups here. Get a good look here at all of our competitors with their webcams on. You know, you see Landon Burbage in there, Dallas Seward, Kevin Winker in there as well with the blue room here this evening. We got Dylan Carrier, Josh Crider, Dallas Seward, Matthew Wood, our race leader out there as well. All got their webcams on, giving us a great look at what they're doing here behind the wheel and out there on the Speedway. So huge shout out here to all these drivers able to give us a good perspective of what they're doing here in their cockpits and behind the steering wheels here, and how they're able to kind of navigate and stay focused and keep themselves, you know, in shape and out of line and in line here on the Speedway. As we'll go through a lot of those webcams throughout the evening, as we are already 15 laps and 10% of this race already done. We've already seen one caution flag for incident out there on the Speedway, but it's Matthew Wood who leads the way here in this one. Wood run a great race here once again. This number 16 ride, he is one tough cookie to beat out there on the racetrack. And right now it's Landon Burbage, his teammate, who's trying to track him down in a quick hurry. Aiden Lucas, they're in position number 3 as Brian Underwood has worked himself now inside the top 5 as he jumps into the 4th position. Jordan Hand there in 5th, and then we see Chris Stange, Thomas Horvath, Jonathan Gaston, Noah Blackwell, and William Connolly rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. Ryan Hollard back there in 11th with Gleason there in 12th. Grant Applegate in the shades of Ricky Bobby, number 57 ride there in 13th. The 5 ride, the throwback paint scheme here, not to Martin Truex Jr. It's the Front Row Motorsports Denver Mattresses number 5 ride. This is a throwback to Regan Smith's paint scheme here this evening, not Martin Truex Jr. I know that's a simple, easy mistake to make since they're the exact same cars. I already got schooled about that one in the Discord, so we gotta make sure you guys know it's a Regan Smith paint scheme here this evening. It's Dylan Carrier out there in that Dale Earnhardt Jr. number 88 ride. He's got the Gamer Subs ride there in position number 15. He's got Farrell Robbins right there behind him. Paul LaCourte in the 41 there in the 17th position. Then we see that beautiful number 42, the Sonic Graphic Designs, the Muleburger Custom Homes number 42 of Kevin Winker Nation rolling there in the 18th position. Here on the Speedway has Dallas Seward in the 38 there behind him in 19th. Nathan Brookover back there in 20th with Chris Getz, Jordan Crider rounding out our field here in the 22nd position. So some of those drivers that got tied up in that early race wreck kind of rebounding here. We do see Grant Applegate up into 13th, Dylan Carrier there in 15th, Farrell Robbins and Paul LaCourte all right there as well. So the 4 drivers getting tied up in our opening couple laps here. They got together down the front straightaway and into corner number 1. We saw a lot of damage, a lot of carnage for all 4 of those drivers, and you see them all still battling pretty close in comparison out there on the speedway, but they all get their cars fixed back up, back out there on the racetrack, running some good laps and trying to work themselves up and through the field. But right now, everybody's trying to chase down this 16 rider. Matthew Wood is continuing to lead the way. A very beautiful throwback paint scheme here to Greg Biffle on the evening, and this Biffle ride is looking very spiffy out there on the speedway as that car is looking fresh and furious out there on the track. As my boy Cody DeForge, what's good, Cody? Says, what are you into tonight, brother? We're into everything here tonight, okay? There's nothing we're not into here tonight, my boy. All depends on what you mean, what we're into. We were into the beers a little earlier, not too many. We got to make sure we can pronunciate and get names correct and not slur our words up here in the booth. Unfortunately, my Saturday nights with the racing action, we can't get too crazy here, as Dustin says, laugh my ass off. Same difference. I know, right? I know. How do these guys not go to sleep being so spread out? They're experienced. You know, they're finely tuned operators of these machines out there on the racetrack. Big D. They are they're very veteran drivers out there on the racetrack when it comes to the NASCAR style of racing here. So that's how they don't fall asleep, you know. And I'm sure they got me in their ear, maybe in another monitor or another screen somewhere. They're listening into the broadcast, keeping them pumped up, keeping them hyped here, and hoping to keep, you know, all the fans in the stands hyped up and happy to be here as well, and enjoying the show and enjoying the racing. And even though things get spread out, things are getting a little bit more chaotic here, you know, and things are getting a little bit more tiresome maybe for those drivers. We got to make sure we keep everyone, you know, interested, in tune, to the stream here and not leaving. As Dust says, if it wasn't for you talking, I'd be asleep. Listen, brother, if it wasn't for me talking, I might be asleep too. I'm just kidding. No, these guys are doing a fantastic job, man, and we gotta keep these guys honest out there on the speedway. We keep looking through the field, looking at every one of these drivers when they're making moves, when they're trying to get around drivers. As right now, you do see that 6 ride of Brian Underwood trying to make himself a way around the rubbered up number 69 here of Jordan Crider. Crider is the first car to go a lap down here on the evening. A heartbreaker here for that 69. See that little bit of rear end damage. Now I'm not sure if he ended up getting rear end contact by somebody on one of the restarts, or if he's gotten in to the outside wall and earned himself some Darlington stripes here on the night. But he is all the way back in the last place here, and he is the first car to unfortunately go a lap down here this evening. Chris Getz getting close to being the next driver to go a lap down here himself, but Getz in that 87 back in 21st. He's still got a little bit of ground between himself and our race leader, but Matthew Wood is rolling up to him in a quick hurry, and then he's got a bit of a gap up into Nathan Brookover. Brookover about 6 seconds ahead of that 87 ride, but then the traffic will start to pick up for our race leader as he'll start to run into some more heavier lap traffic, trying to get around drivers more often than not, as you do see the 38 ride of Dallas Seward down onto the apron. He's going to let Brookover go around him here as he gets slow down the back straightaway here on the Boeing back straightaway. Now they call it the Boeing back straightaway because it is big enough you can land a Boeing 747 right down there on that back straightaway. That's why they call it the Boeing back straightaway. I'm actually not sure, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just talking to my butt. It may not be like that. As Dustin says, talk to you later, buddy. Watching the UFC PPV. Let's go, brother. Let's go. It's going to be some good fights, man. I haven't gotten into UFC in a long time, man. Since Ronda Rousey and Conor McGregor kind of hung it up, I haven't really been too much into it. As we do see the 76 of Farrell Robbins down the racetrack on the apron here, slow on the speedway. He is now going to slide all the way back to that 21st position and lap down now for himself. Heavy left front damage here for that 76 as he's going to keep it after on the speedway, not coming down pit side, but no caution flag here for the 76. But we'll take a look and see what happened as he tries to work under the 99 ride right here, and looks like Paul LaCourte going to come in there with the big head of steam. Looked like the 76 getting a little bit tight underneath that 99 of Ryan Haller, so he's kind of checking up here as things get very tight out at quarter number 2. LaCourte comes in there with a good head of steam. Unfortunately, does not get checked up in time. You do see the 99 and the 41 also get up and earn some Darlington stripes there, pouncing off that outside fence there in quarter number 2, and then you see that 76 as he gets hooked there in the rear end, gets slid down the racetrack, hard contact into the inside safer barrier, and there is our caution flag. So the caution flag will fly, and I do believe it's Jordan Crider who's in the, actually no, it's the 87 ride. Chris Getz, who's in that free pass position. So Chris Getz going to get that wave around and back onto the lead lap here this evening, as I do believe lap number 30 was our first stage break. So picking up stage win number 1 here on the evening is this number 16 ride, the Greg Biffle throwback paint scheme here. That is that 16 of Matthew Wood. Coming home in second in stage number 1 was Landon Burbage with Aiden Lucas, Brian Underwood, Thomas Horvath. Our top 5 here in this first stage: Jordan Hand, Chris Stange, Noah Blackwell, William Connolly, and Jonathan Gaston rounding out our top 10 here in stage number 1. It's my boy Dustin coming in with the hashtag followage. Dustin, if you want to see how long you've been following, it's exclamation mark followage, brother. Not the hashtag. Exclamation mark followage will give you the amount of time that you have been a follower and a part of the Peacemaker family over there on Facebook. As Dustin says, I love the UFC. Best shit ever, brother. Trust me, it is very good. I'd have to watch quite a bit, kind of get back into it, learn the rivalries, all the new ones and everything else. Is my boy Kevin Timmy. Kev coming in, smashing that like on the stream. My boy Cody DeForge also with the thumbs up over there on the Facebook broadcast. Bubba coming in over on Twitch as well says, let's go, coming in, showing the love here in this one as drivers down pit side. You do see our race leader, the 16 ride right there. He went a little too far in his pit stall. You do see the 42 making a quick pit stop here, and the 6 ride spinning out, trying to get back onto the throttle here. This is going to hurt a lot of these drivers as they roll back out onto the racetrack here. I do believe Aiden Luke is going to come out in second as Kevin Winker will be our race leader coming out of pit lane here. So it looks like he may have taken fuel only in that 42 ride. Aiden Lucas coming out in second. That mistake sliding a little too far. It's a little too long in his pit box for that 16 machine. But you do see the 42 slow down on the inside of the speedway. So not sure if maybe the 42 ride of Kevin Winker, he may have missed his pit stall and had to roll around the speedway here once again, and he may be out of fuel right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if this car has enough gas to get back to his pit stall. He's creeping here down through quarter number 3 and 4, so I'm not sure if this number 42 has ran out of fuel, maybe ran out of steam, hoping that this is downhill here into his pit stall, hoping to try to get there as quickly as possible. A big mistake there as well for Kevin Winker, as now Aiden Lucas out in front of the field. Matthew Wood there in second. Landon Burbage in third, and then we see Thomas Horvath, Jordan Hand, our top 5 as we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. We're going to pull in our Stage 1 winner, the number 16 ride, Matthew Wood. Let's see if we can find Mr. Wood in here and pull him up into one of the booths here. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for our Stage 1 winner of the L. Rod Strong 150 here this evening, as we're going to pull Matthew Wood up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Matthew, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Matthew, brother, a strong move on that opening lap, using the outside lane to take this race lead away from Aiden Lucas. Do you think you got that in the tank here once again? As soon as you got out in front, even with that one restart, you were able to lead all the laps here in our opening stage of the evening and pick up that big stage win here. You know, what's going through your mind at this point in the race, and do you think you can get it done here in stage number 2?
Hopefully. I don't know. Aiden's quick. My tires were killed at the end of it. So we just got to do a little bit better job of saving our tires. Aiden, it's going to be about timing here on the restart. If I can stay to his outside, I can get past him. But no, I just got some pain in my left hand, cramping from, I don't know, it was some injury I got during my accident. I don't know, they're sending me physical therapy for it, but nothing that I can't work through. So hopefully we can just get the lead back here and pull away like we did.
Absolutely, brother. Well, I know you're ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Good luck out there. Have fun, and hopefully that hand doesn't bother you too much, and hopefully we'll see you back up here in the broadcast booth by the end of the night.
All right, God bless to you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Matthew Wood, our first stage winner here on the evening from the Lady in Black Darlington Raceway here this evening for the L. Rod Strong 150. Is down through the Geico restart zone. We will go back to Green Flag Racing as Aiden Lucas in the Beyond Detailing number 77 ride will put that throttle down and quickly try to lead us down into quarter number 1. He slides up the racetrack right in front of that 16 of Matthew Wood. This time, not letting that 16 ride get the run to the outside lane, not letting him beat him down there through quarter 1 and 2. But we do see another caution flag on the speedway. Caution flag coming back out. We see a couple of drivers turned around down the back straightaway here at Darlington Raceway. That is Jordan Hand in the 25 right. William Connolly unfortunately turned around here out at quarter number 2. We'll take a look and see what happens here, as I think both drivers went around almost the same spot at the same time. As we'll take a look at it and see what happens as you see the 25 ride down low on the racetrack. Here he comes up the speedway. Unfortunately, bounces off the Ricky Bobby number 57 ride and down into the inside wall. And pretty good contact here for me. Also see the one ride do the exact same thing, getting an even bigger piece of that inside fence here in this one. Let's see if we can play this back a little bit farther here. And you see almost the exact same time, like there's oil or something there out at quarter number 2. It just gets very, very tight. If you're the inside car, it can make you very loose. And unfortunately, both drivers kind of off the racetrack, bouncing off the cars to their outside. Maybe a little net code for both of these competitors, and hard down into the inside fence there, especially for that one ride of Jordan Hand as this car leaves the ground there ever so slightly here, man. This car jumps up onto 2 wheels, and that was a pretty big hit here. Boom. Heavy hit there, slides back up the racetrack. Luckily enough, looks like everyone able to avoid both of these competitors on the speedway, as the one ride, unfortunately, not a whole lot of forward motion right there. The 25 continues on driving. Unfortunately for Jordan Hand, he may have to take that one onto the hooker here this evening and get that car towed back down to his pit stall, as yeah, he's trying to roast these tires. Unfortunately, the front tires are not turning, and he's going to take that car down pit side there. So a tough Tough break for the 25 of William Connolly. Tough break there for the one ride of Jordan Hand, who is now down pit side and falling laps, multiple laps down here. It's Beyond Detailing says, you know it, baby. Beyond Detailing 77 right at the front of the field here, showing these drivers how to get it done in stage number 2. As once again, early in these stages, it's like the tire pressure in these rides are just making them that much more looser here, that much tougher to handle here. So I think these drivers are really just hoping to kind of get a couple good clean runs, couple good clean laps into these tires, especially the French tires. And then these cars seem to really hang on a little bit better. We didn't see drivers really sliding around too much even later in that first run on the evening. So it seems like as the tire pressures are built up, these cars are kind of very, very tough to handle out there on the speedway. So it's going to be interesting to see on this next restart if they can make it a couple laps, if they can kind of get some heat into these tires, get them kind of grip back up here and keep themselves out of trouble, and see these guys get a little bit more single file out there on the racetrack, especially out of quarter number 2. That spot on the speedway tightens up quite a bit here. I wish we could get a good angle at the racetrack there out of quarter number 2, because it tightens up quite a bit when you kind of get pinched up there with 2 cars to the outside coming off the corner. It is tough to kind of get through there too wide. Even in real life NASCAR racing, that is the danger spot here at the Lady in Black Darlington Raceway. So we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing as Wilton's Maven coming in, showing the love here in this one. Wilton's coming in, smashing that follow button, becoming a brand new follower over there on the Twitch stream. I appreciate that coming in, showing the love here in this one. As man, these guys have been putting on a heck of a race, a heck of a show here for us. Each and every one of these drivers putting on a good event here this evening for the Elrod Strong 150. Our hearts and prayers go out to Elrod and his family, and a quick recovery for Elrod here as we are all Elrod Strong here this evening, as we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing. As my boy Bryce Dickinson, Brycey Bear, coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream. How are you, Bryce? Bryce coming in, smashing that thumbs up here on the broadcast as well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, because we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here this evening. The green flag going to come back out this time by, because the pace car going to make that hard left-hand turn back down pit side and down through the Geico restart zone. Aiden Luke is ready to set this field loose once again, as these drivers nose to tail out there on the speedway, door to door. It's elbows up racing here at Darlington as we are back to green flag racing. The 16 ride getting a great jump though that time. The 77 ride down low, looking to try to clear him, but a big run against the outside fence. Things are getting tight here between our race leaders in the power move again out of quarter number 2 as he slides sideways there in the 16 ride. Luckily enough, keeps that car pointed in the right direction. Now down through quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4. The 16 of Matthew Wood looking to use the outside lane here once again to take this race lead back away from Aiden Lucas. Lucas saw that happening on our opening lap of this evening. He was able to get a couple restarts there and keep that 16 right at bay, but that time did not get as lucky, as out in front once again is Matthew Wood. Lucas there in second. Then we see that Skull Bandit number 2 of Landon Burbage there in third. The 54 of Thomas Horvath there in fourth, with Noah Blackwell in position number 5. Chris Stange, Grant Applegate, Ryan Haller, Ben Gleason, and Josh Crider rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway. Dylan Carrier right there behind him. Then we see Brian Underwood there in 12th. Kevin Wanker in the Muleburger Custom Homes number 42 ride there in 13th. And then we see that Gaston's iRacing Graphics, the STP machine, that is Jonathan Gaston in position number 14. He's got the one ride there behind him. That is Jordan Hand. Unfortunately for Jordan Hand, he is all the way back in the 21st position on the speedway and multiple laps down here for that number 1 ride. And we see William Connolly back here in the 25th spot. Nathan Brookover there in 16th. Jordan Crider, Chris Getz, Dallas Seward, and the 76 of Farrell Robbins rounding out our top 20. Jordan Hand is there in 21st, and then Paul LaCourte down pit side here and off the speedway. A tough break here for Paul LaCourte. I'm not sure what may have happened here to Mr. LaCourte, but he came down pit road under the caution flag and has not came back out onto the speedway yet, so I'm not sure what has went wrong here for the 41. We did see him get some contact and some damage early in this race from that opening or second lap caution flag down the front straightaway. We do see him rolling back out here. The Kodiak machine going to jump back out onto the speedway here and get rolling once again. Unfortunately, now multiple laps down here to the rest of the field. That's Matthew Wood right here going to try to steamroll around him, try to put him another lap down. He's also trying to hunt down the 38 ride of Dallas Seward here. Seward at risk of going a lap down here himself, and there you go. He's going to go right down onto the apron. He's going to let that number 16 ride roll right on by, and it looks like Dallas is looking to come down pit road here in the 38 ride. He does hit the commitment line, but does not go down pit road here. Just kind of running down on that apron, unfortunately, killing a ton of momentum and a ton of speed there for that 38, but he'll jump back out onto the racetrack here and keep on rolling on the speedways. Matthew Wood out in front with a big lead. Now over a second and a half between himself and Aiden Lucas. Lucas trying to hang on to second as the 2-rider Landon Burbage right there in that second position. Then we see Noah Blackwell and Thomas Horvath rounding out our top 5. We talked to Landon last week. He talked about how this is one of his favorite racetracks here on the simulator. So it's going to be interesting to see if that Skull Bandit ride can come alive here as the sun goes down, even though the temperature is going up out here on the speedway for all these drivers. It's starting to get cooler in the air. The sun is going down. The lights are coming on, and we got ourselves a Saturday night special here this evening with the Premium Stock Car Racing League for the Elrod Strong 150. Matthew Wood at the front of the field here leading the way. Lucas, Burbage, Blackwell, and Applegate now our top 5 out there on the speedways. Applegate in the Ricky Bobby I Want to Go Fast Me machine. They are now inside the top 5. Applegate slides back to 6, but now he's got the AdminBoxx W Energy. The Fueled Up Motorsports number 29 of Chris Stange working down to his inside. The Office Depot number 99 ride. That is a Carl Edwards throwback paint scheme here for the 99 of Ryan Haller. Then we see Ben Gleason back here in the Oscar Mayer number 66. Brian Underwood there in position number 10, and then Josh Crider there in the Regan Smith number 5 ride, rolling there in 11th. The Dale Earnhardt Jr. number 88 there in 12th, as we do see Chris Getz heavy damage down on the apron here. Heavy contact here for this 87 ride. No caution flag on the speedway. Let's see if we can take a look and see what happened here to Chris Getz out there on the racetrack as he rolls down and through quarter 1 and out of quarter number 2. He's just going to get loose over the little bit of a hump right there and makes heavy contact there with the inside wall. Luckily enough, they did install that safer barrier down low on the speedway to absorb a little bit of that hit, a little bit of that contact, but those ones still hurt, and that hurt quite a bit for Chris Getz. No caution flag, unfortunately for himself. All that time spent down on the apron has put him multiple laps down and now down on pit road trying to get this car repaired as everyone else steamrolling around him on the racetrack, and that is going to put him deep in the field here throughout this evening as he finally gets into his pit stall, gets that car quickly repaired. Looks like he's going to throw some tires onto that car and trying to roll back out onto the speedway here as quickly as he can. As Matthew Wood there in the top spot has Aiden Lucas still trying to chase him down. Landon Burbage there in position number 3 with Noah Blackwell and Grant Applegate, our top 5 here on the speedway. Thomas Horvath, Chris Stange, Ryan Haller, Ben Gleason, and Brian Underwood, our top 10 here on the racetrack, as we're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers. We crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Woo! Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Crank up that volume. Cheer on your favorite driver right now in the comment section as we crank it up. Flag out there on the speedway. Yellow flag is going to be displayed here during our crank it up. We will take a look and see what happened here as we saw the 66 ride getting slow down and out at corner number 4. Jordan Hand right there with them. Also getting slow on the speedway here. We will have to take a look and see what brings out our fourth caution flag of the evening here as looks like both drivers going to get up into the outside fence. Now, it looks like there is definitely some contact here, but they were already kind of in the fence before this. See if we can see a little bit of contact maybe between the 66 and that one ride as the Oklahoma machine unfortunately already a couple laps down, and we do see that little bit of Contact maybe right there, and yeah, right there over the nose. The one ride goes of that 66 ride, and both drivers up and into the fence here. More contact. There's the 66. Heavy damage into that left rear quarter panel of the one ride. Back up over the nose. They get spun around together here. You see the flames out of the pipes there of the 66 ride as he's rolling out of the throttle, trying to get this car stopped and trying to minimize the contact and the damage. Unfortunately for both competitors, they're going to stay almost glued to that outside fence for multiple laps here, including Jordan Hand as he was slow on the speedway. The car's going to get hooked into that wall and turned around again as that right front tore apart there for that number one machine. Let's see if we can play this one back and get another look here and see what happened to that one ride of Jordan Hand. Let's see if we can jump on board the helmet cam here of Jordan as he sends it in here, and unfortunately just a little contact is enough to make him go around as he's trying to follow in behind the 99 ride, trying to make some moves around Ryan Haller. Jumps down low here, thinks better of it, doesn't dive it down in deep, and tries to roll back up the racetrack, and unfortunately the 66 was already there and make contact a couple times up into the outside fence. You can see that carnage, the damage, the force that comes there with those drivers bouncing off each other and into that outside fence. And then finally, as this car digging right into the wall, just going to turn him around there and stop on the speedway. And that's what will bring out our caution flag here once again. So we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to battle here as drivers down pit road. They've gotten some fuel, they've gotten some tires back onto these rides. We do see a few drivers looking for some wave arounds here. That's the 38 of Dallas Seaworth, the 41 ride of Paul LaCourte, looking for that wave around as well, trying to get some laps back here for these competitors on the evening as they are both a lap or multiple laps down out there on the racetrack. Out in front, though, it is this 16 ride of Matthew Wood. Wood continuing to lead the way on the evening. He has not settled down. He has not backed down out there on the racetrack. He's been able to keep this 16 ride at the front of the field here for multiple laps. The only other race leader we have had here on the evening was the 77 ride of Aiden Lucas in the Beyond Detailing number 77 machine, who's now back into that third position on the speedway. So Landon Burbage, teammates here with that race leader of Matthew Wood. So teammates 1 and 2 on the speedway getting ready for another big restart here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, please make sure you guys do us a favor. It's absolutely free to do. It helps the stream grow a absolute ton. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the broadcast, hit that share button, and make sure you drop a couple comments. Let us know who you're cheered for and who you want to see up here in victory lane, or who do you think has the best looking paint scheme out there on the speedway. As we'll get them ready to rock and roll, we'll get ready to go back to battle here on this fine Saturday night. The lights are off, the official iRacing pace car, and we will get ready to go back to battle here again in this one. So things are about to pick back up here this evening as 65 laps in. I do believe our second stage break was right around that time. Let me double check and see. Yeah, lap 60 was our competition caution as well. So I think we had our competition caution right around the exact same time as that caution flag and the incidents out there on the speedway. So second stage coming to a close here in this one. So lap 30, lap 60 were our two stages here on the evening. Both stage wins going to that 16 of Matthew Wood. So Wood picking up both stage wins here on the evening, ready to try to make it all three stages here in this one and put himself up into victory lane here on the night. Is down through the Geico restart zone. We go back to green flag racing here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Is the 16 of Matthew Wood. Another great restart. There behind him his teammate, the Skull Bandit number 2. It's Landon Burbage there in that second spot. Here on the speedways, Aiden Lucas right in line there in third. Grant Applegate, the Ricky Bobby throwback paint scheme, that number 57 rolling there in fourth. And Brian Underwood now up and inside the top 5 here once again. Chris Stange there in 6th with Thomas Horvath back in 7th. Dylan Carrier there in position number 8 for the Dale Earnhardt Jr. number 88 running out there on the racetrack. Then we see Ryan Haller in the Carl Edwards number 99 ride there in the 9th position, and rounding out our top 10 in the NJB Designs number 9 ride, it's Noah Blackwell. William Connolly back there in 11th with Jonathan Gaston, Ben Gleason, Farrell Robbins, Kevin Winker, the Winker Nation riding back there, rounding out our top 15 here on the Speedway. Down, let's see where Josh Crider, Jordan Crider, and Nathan Brookover right there in the 17th, 18th, and 19th position. Chris Getz with the heavy damage early on in this race. He now rolls here in the 20th position on the Speedway with Paul LaCourte back in 21st, and Jordan Hand rounding out our field here, but the one right is off the Speedway, and we do see the caution flag coming back out here in this one. So another caution flag here on the Speedway. Looks like Ryan Haller in the 99 ride going to run into some issues here. Let's see what happens to Ryan Haller. He's got Noah Blackwell right here behind him down and out at corner number 2. I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like he gets a little bit loose and then gets a love tap by that 9 ride, and it sends him down the racetrack hard into the inside fence. Heavy damage there for that 99. That's a tough break right there for Ryan Haller. Just looking to have himself a good day, a fun day here at the Speedway, and unfortunately that's going to go to a tough break here in a quick hurry. Is down out of corner number 2. He gets loose here. He's sliding, and the 9 ride coming at him in a full head of steam. Unfortunately, gives him a shot to the rear bumper. 99 ride still kind of loose, trying to recollect that car, and gets him in the wrong spot there in the back bumper, and spins that 99 ride hard down into the inside fence. The Office Depot Coca-Cola machine, heavy front end damage here. We'll have to go down pit side and get extensive work done to try to get back out here onto the Speedway, and that one may be a night finisher there for Ryan Haller. Hopefully we see him get back out there onto the racetrack, as we'll get him stacked up here once again, ready to rock and roll back out there on the Speedway, as Bryce Dickinson coming in, showing the love here in this one with the like on the stream. My boy Tony J. Ludi coming in as well. What's good, Mr. Ludi, coming in, smashing that thumbs up here on the broadcast as well. Ludi coming in, showing the love here this evening. How are you, Tony? How you doing today, brother? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Saturday, as we are about to roll into our halfway marker here this evening. Our halfway marker coming up in a quick hurry here in the L-Rod Strong 150 here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, as these drivers ready to go back to battle. They're ready to duke it out here once again, as tires are going to become one of the biggest questions here for all of these competitors. As these tires, you want to make sure you can try to save them as long as you can. We had 4 sets back behind the wall, plus 1 fast repair, so a lot of drivers have used that quick repair up, and we do have 4 sets behind the wall plus the set that they started with, so basically 5 sets of tires. Now, how do you use them? When do you take them? And how often do you want to try to put new tires on? Because you probably want to try to save a set for late in this race. See that late race caution flag. You're going to want to see that. You're going to want to see some fresh tires going on to your ride. You do not want to see scuffs going on to your race car here late in this race, and having to restart with all fresh tires around you. So it's going to be a big strategy game on not only fuel, but also on when and how to use your tires back there behind the pit wall, as we'll get them ready to rock and roll, ready to go back to battle here in this one. Matthew Wood out in front here. Wood leading the way, showing these drivers how to get it done. He's led the most laps already here this evening, and he's ready to lead some more and keep these drivers back there behind him, as we'll get ready to set them back loose here in just a few more moments.
Everybody. Engines roaring loud and proud. Track is hot, fans are wild. Speeds are climbing high and fast. Racing dreams are built
righty, as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. That is Race to the Finish Line. Here are our anthem. Here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, as these drivers down through the Geico restart zone will see that green flag fly once again here this evening from the Lady in Black. It's Darlington Raceway here this evening. All these drivers doing a great job, as we're going to get a good look right here at our race leader, Matthew Wood, as we're going to get a look inside the webcam here of this number 16 right as he leads the way out there on the racetrack. We'll give you guys a great look at what he's doing behind the wheel here of this number 16 right, where he's finding the speed, how he's running these laps out there on the racetrack is Matthew Wood. Jumping on board here, has the webcam turned on. You get a good look here at this number 16 right. He's laying back, he's sitting back, relaxed in behind the seat here, but he is absolutely focused up, and you can see those hands moving on the speedway, trying to keep this car pointed in the right direction and out of trouble out there on the racetrack. Really putting the turn into that wheel here, trying to get through quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4, having to really put some work into that one. Gonna quickly scratch his nose down the front straightaway as he clicks off another lap, and that hits us to our halfway marker here this evening. So out in front, leading us across the halfway point here in this feature event of the L. Ron Strong 150, it is the number 16 of Matthew Wood, who we ride on board with here in this one. It's down across the line. We're going to take you through a lap here with Matthew Wood on the racetrack. Wood down the front straightaway here, right here, going to go across the start-finish line. Now picking up a ton of speed, almost 200 miles an hour, down into quarter number 1, rolls out of the throttle, puts the clutch in, kind of rolls here for a little bit, then slowly gets back onto the throttle, has to roll out of it there at a quarter number 2. You see how tight things can get there out of that second corner, and then down the back straightaway, once again here, getting off the throttle, going to put that car into neutral and kind of coast it down into quarter number 3. So not using a ton of brakes, but really trying to put this car into a good position to not only try to maybe save a little tire, but also already thinking maybe trying to save a little bit of fuel out there on the speedway, but not give up too much time where one of those drivers back there behind him can get around him on the speedway. It's Matthew Wood again down the back straightaway. Going to drive it in there a little bit deeper this time, not saving too much on this lap, but right there through the middle. Going to throw her back into neutral, let it coast there for a little bit, help that car turn and back into the throttle out of quarter number 4 as he's slipping and sliding around the racetrack. So isn't all of the other drivers out there on the speedway. Right now, he's just doing it at the front of the field, but right there behind him, we do see that number 2 right, his teammate Landon Burbage. Burbage trying to hunt him down here in a quick hurry as the Skull Bandit ride. They're in position number 2. He would love to jump in to position number 1 and put this Skull Bandit ride back up and into victory lane here in one of these NASCAR events with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. As Burbage rolls there in second, we see Thomas Horvath in the Toyota, the Tundra. I don't know what the rest of that says. Pathfinders? I don't know what that says. Tundra something there. The 54 of Thomas Horvath, though, rolling there in third now as he was able to work himself around and beyond, detailing number 77 of Aiden Lucas. The Fueled Up Motorsports AdminBoxx number 29 of Chris State rolls there in position number 5. And then we see Noah Blackwell there in that 6th spot on the speedway. Brian Underwood, Dalen Carrier, the 25 of William Connolly, and the 72 of Jonathan Gaston rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway. The Oscar Mayer number 66 of Ben Gleason rolling there in 11th with Grant Applegate back there in the 12th position. Merrill Robbins, Josh Crider, and the number 42 of Kevin Winker rounding out our top 15 here on the speedway, as we got a good camera angle here as well for that number 42 of Kevin Winker. So Winker Nation, get on your feet and cheer on your driver as Winker Nation get a good look here inside the cockpit, inside the gaming room here for Mr. Winker. You see the iRacing hood there in the background. You see all the racing memorabilia, and you see that setup. Well, Kevin a little farther away than most of the other drivers, but we do see one driver upside down as the caution flag coming back out here in this one. Upside down goes the 29 of Chris Dangerous. He was up and off all of his tires there that I caught out of the corner of my eye. The caution flag going to come back out here in this one as what could have been the big one down the back straightaway. Let's take a look at this. As man, we saw a lot of drivers get tied up in it, and it looks like it starts here with that 29 ride of Chris Stange. As Stange on the outside lane at a corner number 2. Looks like he's going to get loose, and here in the 9 makes some contact. Goes down the racetrack hard into the inside wall. Then he's going to get hit and upside down as the 57 ride, the Ricky Bobby machine, gets a big piece of Chris Stange and takes him for a ride out at corner number 2 and down the Boeing back straightaway. In this car, the 29 ride took flight here like a Boeing 747 after contact here with that inside wall, sliding back out onto the racetrack. He's got the car hooked up and trying to stop. Unfortunately, the 57, the 76, nowhere to go. Get in there. Heavy damage for both Farrell Robbins and for the 57 ride. Heavy damage as well for that 9 ride as well of Noah Blackwell, as he gets some pretty good contact into that one. Let's see if we can jump on board here with Chris Stange and really see what happens here as he gets some dirty air off the 77 ride. Rolling here in that 5th position. Just gets tight and kind of gets up and off the wall. Unfortunately, him and Noah Blackwell make contact, and then all of a sudden he gets T-boned here and upside down. Luckily enough, rolls back onto all 4 tires, but man, what a ride right there for Chris Stange. That was a absolutely wild one. You're down the back straightaway. Let's take another look at this one. Oh man, the 25 ride just narrowly avoiding contact there as well, but yeah, that's a ton of damage there for all these drivers in this one, man. That's a ton of tore up race cars. Let's see if we can jump on board with the 76 ride of Farrell Robbins. As Robbins kind of coming into this one a little bit later, sees it happening, unfortunately. Hoping that the 29 ride doesn't bounce back up the racetrack. He's got the tires locked up right there. Unfortunately, rolls up a little too quickly, and man, tons of damage right there. You can see Kevin Winker getting a piece of this one as well. Winker in there a little bit later. He's actually going to get some contact into this one as well as he slides in here quite a bit later as well, trying to get onto the binders, trying to get down and out of the way. Everyone trying to get checked up there in front of him, and he goes down to the bottom of the racetrack and unfortunately cannot avoid the number 76 of Farrell Robbins. Quite a bit of right front damage there for the 42 ride as well, so hopefully the Mealburger Custom Homes ride can get pointed back in the right direction. A quick hurry. Doesn't look like, it does look like quite a bit of damage as well here for that number 9 of Noah Blackwell, as Blackwell, he's going to get pretty tore up in this one, as well as, yeah, he gets turned up into the outside fence, bounces around here quite a bit, gets some contact there. I'm not sure who that was that got a piece of him there, but contact into the inside wall as well. Doesn't look like too much damage for the 9 ride, but still quite a bit. He's going to have to take that car down pit side and get that thing fixed back up and back out onto the racetrack, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go. Now we run into some pit strategy here. You drivers staying out on the speedway. A lot of other drivers coming down pit road here or making some different pit calls. Maybe 2 tires, maybe fuel only. Trying to save some tires, maybe trying to get some track position, as Thomas Horvath is going to be our new race leader. Brian Underwood there in second. Jonathan Gaston in third. Ryan Haller up into position number 4 here. We saw that 99 ride with tons of damage not too long ago as he got tied up in corner number 3 and 4, and here he is back up inside the top 4. So a good run and a good rebound so far for that number 99 ride. As there you see our earlier race leaders of Matthew Wood and Aiden Lucas, as we get a 3rd new race leader here this evening. Thomas Horvath at the front of the field, and we see Landon Burbage, Noah Blackwell, Dalen Carrier in the 25 for William Connolly, rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor, smash that thumbs up on the broadcast, hit that share button, hit that follow button, hit that like and share as we get ready to rock and roll here in this one. As Mama Bear, Susie Dickinson, Mama Bear coming in, showing the love with the heart reaction here in this one, is down to the the Geico restart zone. We're going to get ready to go back to battle here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go. As we go back to green flag racing, a little bit of different pit strategy for drivers out here on the speedways. It's Thomas Horvath who leads us down into quarter number 1. Horvath getting a great run down through the middle of 1 and 2, and he is going to take this big lead down the Boeing back straightaway. More contact, the Oscar Mayer winner, number 66. Ben Gleason goes for a loop-de-loop here. He's going to take this car right down pit side. Heavy contact, heavy damage here for the Oscar Mayer ride, and unfortunately, taking it down pit road, we did see the 38 ride of Dallas Seward getting into the fence there, as well as Seward's the one who ends up getting into the back end of that 66. Tons of damage right there for Ben Gleason. You hear that motor actually expire on that car. As take a look at this contact. Gets a little loose, but a big run coming out of the 38 just gives him a shot in the shorts there. Out of quarter number 2, unfortunately, just jacks him up, sends him down the racetrack hard into that inside wall, and Ben Gleason gonna probably call it a night right there, as we'll take a look on board with the number 38 ride here at Dallas Seward. Seward gets a big run here. Big run, big contact right there. It's hard to see there through the billboards, but as he comes back up the racetrack, contact with the 69 ride. They come together a couple times down the back straightaway. Heavy damage there for the 38. Heavy damage for the 69 ride of Jordan Crider, as well, as Crider was just trying to get through this, trying to stay out of it. Unfortunately, he ends up with a ton of damage here as him and Seward get together quite a few times down the back straightaway. There you go. You see that contact there. Then Seward, bam, right back in front of them. They make contact again, up off the wall, and off each other, and then down into the inside fence, and heavy damage, heavy contact there for Jordan Crider on the speedway, as he'll take his car down pit side as well to get some heavy repairs done to that 69 rubbered up Productions machine, as we'll get them ready to rock and roll here once again on the speedway as we get closer and closer here to our third waypoint, as Mama Bear, Susie Dickinson, says come on number 16. Cheer it on Matthew Wood. That's a big good choice, Mama Bear. You've seen him race, you've seen him win some races already in this season, and on top of that, Matthew Wood already picking up stage win number 1 and stage win number 2 here on the evening. He's led the most laps already in this race, but he's got to try to figure out how to get around a few more of these drivers, and some different pit strategies has him back here in position number 4 and looking for more. So he's going to have to try to figure out a way here to quickly make work of Jonathan Gaston, Brian Underwood, and Thomas Horvath to put himself back to the front of the field. Will he be able to get it done? Will the dirty air affect that 16 ride too much where he won't be able to be as fast as what he was? Or do we see him steam right back to the front of the field and run away with this one and put himself back up here into victory lane? We're about to find out here in just a few more moments, as we're gonna get ready for our little bit of a song right here. We're gonna get ready for the continuance of our brand new song here for the Premium Stock Car Racing League. As let me turn the camera off here real quick. I'm gonna get a drink into me, then we'll get ready to rock and roll and go back to green flag racing.
Race to the finish line, feel the rush, it's time to shine. Pushing metal, pure and fine, in this premium racing grind. Race to the finish line, feel the rush, it's time to shine. Pushing metal, pure and fine, in this premium racing grind. Uh-oh, uh-oh, grind, uh-oh, and the racing grind. Pit crew ready, tools in hand, every second by a strand. Fuel and tires, quick change, back to track and destined range. Oh. Pit crew ready, tools in hand, every second by a strand. Fuel and tires, quick change, back to track and destined range. Oh. Race to the finish line, feel the rush, it's time to shine. Pushing metal, pure and fine, in this premium racing grind. Race to the finish line, feel the rush, it's time to shine. Pushing metal, pure and
Alrighty, as we're going to get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. And it is the Elrod Strong 150 here this evening from the Lady in Black Darlington Raceway down through the Geico restart zone. We go back to Green Flag Racing as Thomas Horvath back onto the loud pedal, going to clear the number 6 of Brian Underwood down through quarter 1 and 2. Now you see the 16 ride coming with a big head of steam here for position number 1 on the speedway. He is there. He's taking a peek down to the inside of Thomas Horvath. Horvath going to try to hold him off here on the outside of quarter number 3 and quarter number 4. But pulling up door to door, maybe the fresher tires here for the 16 ride is going to put him back to the front of the field. Is down the front straightaway. They drag race down across the line, and it's Matthew Wood jumping back out in front as now he'll clear that 54 machine as Horvath slides back to second. We see Brian Underwood there in third. We did see that number 72 of Jonathan Gaston pull down onto the apron. Unfortunately, went from up and inside the top 5 to all the way back here to the 15th position. Now some contact between himself and the 87 of Chris Getz. They come together there out at quarter number 2. Contact and damage for both of these drivers. See that heavy right front damage now for that 72 of Jonathan Gaston. Unfortunate contact, unfortunate break right there for the STP number 72 machine, and still keep on rolling out there on the speedways out in front. Matthew Wood looking to stretch out this lead between himself and that 54. See the Skull Bandit number 2 of Landon Burbage taking a little bit more time trying to figure out a way to get around Brian Underwood. As Underwood battling hard here to the outside of that 2 ride. Here comes the 77 of Aiden Lucas as well. Lucas right there ready to pounce, try to work himself into position number 4, maybe back up inside the top 3 if he can find a way to get around the 2 drivers here in front of him. If he gets a big run down the back straightaway, a big run there as well for Noah Blackwell as he takes a peek down to the inside of the 88 rider Dylan Carrier there to the outside lane, gonna look for another good run here as well as the 77 of Aiden Lucas continues to get these big runs out of the corner, just has nowhere to go with it. Could try to take these drivers 3 wide, but 3 wide here at Darlington normally ends in disaster. Even 2 wide, especially there at a corner number 2, is a treacherous place to be in as these drivers battle here for this 3rd spot on the speedway. It's allowing Thomas Horvath to run away with position number 2, but running away with it in the top spot is this 16 of Matthew Wood. Now out to a 1.6 second advantage between himself and our 2nd place driver Thomas Horvath. So he's looking to continue to run away here in that 16 ride as the Greg Biffle throwback paint scheme here in position number 1. Horvath there in second. Then we see this battle continuing to brew here as now the 77 ride at Aiden Lucas going to get the inside advantage on that 2 ride. Landon Burbridge is going to see if he can try to clear him here. Gets a big run out of quarter number 4. He's down low. He's looking for the run to try to get to the inside of the 6 ride. Side grabs a little bit down into quarter number 1. Looking for a big drive here off of quarter number 2 to try to take this 3rd spot away from that 6 machine. The 88 ride, look out. Dylan Carrier down into the inside fence. Heavy contact there for that 88 ride. He gets stopped here on the speedway, takes that car down pit side in a heartbreaker there for Dylan Carrier as Dylan unfortunately nowhere to go. Heavy damage there on that 88 machine. He is not going to be happy about that one. We'll open up the webcam here, see if we see that frustration out of the 88 ride. I'm sure he's got some very choice words here for the contact that was just made and having him go around, and you can see he's definitely frustrated, but now he's going to take a little bit of a breather. He's going to take a little bit of a break here and trying to get this car back out onto the racetrack to finish off this race. Unfortunately, he's losing a lot of laps and a lot of time parked down pit road here in this one. As we'll take a look back and see what happened here to the 88 as they were battling up inside the top 5. Watch that 9 ride. The NJB Designs number 9 machine gets a big run as the 88, I do believe, gets a little bit loose underneath the 2 right here at a corner number 2. Just maybe a little bit loose or maybe a little tight here. Washes up the racetrack trying to stay out of the 2 right. Has to check up, and as he kind of did, he kind of rolled out of the throttle just ever so slightly, but not a whole lot. Even get another angle at this one. And see the contact here between the 88 and this 9 ride. As the 9 ride comes up big head of steam square into the back bumper. Unfortunately, the 88 already a little bit sideways there, sliding out of corner number 2. And contact just crumples that left rear quarter panel and sends him down the racetrack and hard into that inside fence. Heavy damage there. Or that 88 machine, the Dylan Carrier gets stopped on the speedway, but off the racetrack. No caution flag there, so we keep it clean and green here this evening's Matthew Wood at the front of the field, continuing to try to run away with this one. Unfortunately for Dylan, though, he is all the way back now in the I do believe he's in the 17th position right now. With Paul LaCourte still a few laps down here, could potentially roll around him and pass that number 88 ride, as we do see Farrell Robbins still down pit road, Ben Gleason down there as well. Grant Applegate, I do believe, off the racetrack in the 57 ride, and Jordan Hand also off the speedway in the 1 ride. So a couple drivers out of this race, a few drivers down pit road with heavy damage, and out in front in running away with this one is the 16 ride of Matthew Wood. Wood at the front of the field here by 3.2 seconds, and it's continuing to grow. It's down across the line. It reaches 3.4 seconds between himself and Thomas Horvath. As Horvath here in second, trying to just keep that distance within reach here on the evening. We see this go clean and green throughout this feature event. That number 16 ride has a huge advantage for what could be potential green flag pit stops, and that's a big question mark for a lot of these drivers. This is a tough pit road to get down to. You see that yellow line? That's basically the line you want to follow here at Darlington Raceway to come down pit road, and that transfer from coming off the banking onto the apron here on the speedway is very slick. We've seen quite a few drivers run into issues, spin out, go around, or end up going too fast down pit road, as that is a big penalty here on the racetrack with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, and that is something that could unfortunately take you out of contention for this race. So any of these drivers up and on the lead lap right now, if we do see those green flag pit stops, you gotta mind your P's and Q's. You gotta make sure you keep yourself out of trouble here for those green flag stops, and make sure you do not get a penalty down pit road, as you may take yourself right out of contention here this evening. Aiden Lucas continues his solid drive as the Beyond Detailing number 77 machine rolling there in position number 3, and he's looking to try to work himself up into position number 2 here as he takes a look down low on that 54 of Thomas Horvath for that second spot on the speedway. Landon Burbridge right there with him as Burbridge trying to hunt them down here, trying to work himself inside the top 3 on the evening. Then we see William Connolly back there in that 25 ride, the play it safe number 25 ride there in that 5th position. Brian Underwood in the Gaston's iRacing Graphics Premium Stock Car Racing League number 6 ride there in the 6th position. Noah Blackwell up 9 positions on the racetrack, currently one of our hard chargers here this evening. Started all the way back in the 16th spot, and now up and in 7th here on the speedway, and having himself a day at the speedway, as he's unfortunately got tied up in a couple of incidences out there on the racetrack, but he's been able to battle up here inside the top 10 for most of this evening. Then we see Josh Crider in that Regan Smith number 5 ride. They're in position number 8 on the speedway. And Chris Stange, Kevin Winker are top 10. So Winker Nation, cheer on your driver here as Kevin now works himself up inside the top 10 here this evening. Ryan Haller there in the 99 ride, up into 11th here as Nathan Brookover back there behind him in 12th. Dallas Seward in the 13th position with Jonathan Gaston back there in 14th. Jordan Crider, the first car 1 lap down here in the Rubbered Up Productions number 69 ride there in 15th. And Chris Getz back there in 16th. Paul LaCourte, Dylan Carrier, Farrell Robbins, Ben Gleason, Grant Applegate, and Jordan Hand rounding out our field here on the evening as Matthew Wood continues to stretch that race lead. Wood out in front here by 5.3 seconds now between himself and Aiden Lucas. So Lucas has worked himself around Thomas Horvath, so has Landon Burbridge, and you see the 25 ride, William Connolly right there as well. Unfortunately, all these drivers multiple seconds down here to our race leader, and that gap continues to grow more and more here for Matthew Wood as he's looking to try to just run away with this one and put himself up and into the winner's circle here this evening. And once again, here on the year for the Premium Stock Car Racing League, as he's trying to hunt down a huge championship here in that number 16 ride. As he's at the front of the field in the National Guard, never forget number 16 here on the Speedway. Everyone hunting him down with only 40 laps left of racing action this time by the start finish line. So only 40 more laps of battling here this evening, as my boy Dylan coming in showing the love. The SSJ Logic ride said nope, wrecked out for like 5th week in a row. Gotta love teammates. Yeah, unfortunate contact there. We saw the 9 ride get into your back bumper out of corner number 2, and it sent you down the speedway and into that inside fence. And unfortunately, no caution flag either in a tore-up race car in a tough break down pit road for the 88 ride of Dylan Carrier, as he is off the racetrack here and doesn't sound like he's coming back out there onto the racetrack. So right now, as it stands, I do believe we only have about 17 drivers left out there on the speedway. 5 drivers have retired from this race, and now we see Brian Underwood come down pit road here. So I'm not sure if he is at the point where he can make it to the end on fuel, or if he had to come down pit road. I'm not 100% sure if he can make it the rest of the way here, pitting now at this point. But the 6th run is down pit side, so maybe a little bit of a strategy call, trying to short pitch, trying to use those fresh tires a little bit sooner than everybody else, maybe forcing their hand to come down pit side, or what may propel him to leapfrog some drivers in front of him and maybe potentially put himself into victory lane or a better finish here this evening than where he was when he came down pit road here. We'll have to remember that the 6th ride was running in that 6th position when he came down pit side. We'll have to wait and see how this strategy plays out here for Underwood here this evening, as we're going to jump into our final crank it up here on the evening. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite driver as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. right, easy. Get a good look right there with that 8-run. Troubles trying to come down pit road. No caution flag on the speedway as he was off the racing surface. A heartbreaker right there for that number 8 machine. Heavy damage, heavy contact there as he'll pull himself up into his pit box as some green flag pit stops continuing out there on the speedway. Some of these drivers yet to come down pit road, and you'll take a look right here. We saw it there as we rode on board there with the 8 ride. The difference in speed here with the fresh tires compared to the old tires, and how quickly these drivers are making up ground, making up time here in the difference in speeds. As Kevin Winker, one of those drivers, get to come down pit road. Look at the fresh tires just steamroll around this number 42. But what he's doing is he is going to try to play this strategy out a little bit differently than what everybody else is doing. So these drivers that came down pit road may have been a little bit early. He may want to wait a little bit longer, see if he can make up some ground later in the run. If this continues, green flag. He comes down pit side as these drivers are using up their tires right now, running very fast lap times out there on the speedway. He's given up a lot of track position here to these drivers, but he may be able to get it all back if he gives himself enough time here later in this race to kind of steamroll back around these drivers. Look how fast they are. Cruise control around him here on the speedway. It may be the opposite way here when he comes down pit road and gets his fresh tires on. As their tires fall off sooner than his does, he can kind of work himself back around and gain all this track position back and have the fastest car later in this race than what everybody else is. But it's a very thin line on how long you can stay out there, how much time you can actually give up to all of these competitors on the speedways. We do see Chris Stange down pit side. Now, Stange was running quite a bit faster lap times than that 42 ride of Kevin Winker, as Winker is now our new race leader, so he's out in front leading the way. Dallas Seward now into position number 2 here on the racetrack. Matthew Wood, who was our race leader as these green flag pit stops got underway, he's now there in 3rd as he rolls around Chris Stange, who's down pit side. Brian Underwood, we saw him. He was one of the first drivers to start making these green flag pit stops, so with him coming down pit road first, he was able to leapfrog a couple of drivers, now put himself up here into position number 4. But when you really think of the grand scheme of things, Kevin Winker still has to come down pit side. Dallas Seward still has to make that pit stop as well. So coming in a few laps quicker than the rest of these drivers, the 6th ride went from 6th position into what could potentially be position number 2 here on the speedway. Now, the only thing is his tires are going to be a little bit less good than the drivers back there behind him. So drivers like Thomas Horvath, Aiden Lucas, they're going to have a little bit better tire than what that 6th ride has, or at least Bryant's theoretically should fall off a little bit sooner than those few cars back here behind them, and they are not too far without striking distance here. So we'll have to wait and see how this strategy plays out for that 6th ride. And right now, Kevin Winker yet to come down pit road again. So Winker still not coming down pit side. The 42 ride rolling here in the top spot, looking to try to maybe catch a lucky break if he can get that caution flag. Have everyone else on older tires. Maybe he's the only driver still with a set of tires behind pit wall, and he can try to trap about an extra 5-6 drivers a lap down. As right now, Josh Crider here in 9th is the first driver 1 lap down. He's trying to hunt down our race leader, trying to race his way back onto the lead lap, but William Connolly, he's hoping for it as well, as he would be into the free pass position if that caution flag was displayed. Chris Stange, Ryan Haller, all unfortunately lap or multiple laps down now. Jonathan Gaston down a lap or 2 here, as well as Nathan Brookover. Jordan Crider a few laps down in the rubbered up number 69. Paul LaCourte multiple laps down there in the 41. Chris Getz lots of laps down there in the 87, currently scored in the 17th position. And off the speedway we see Dylan Carrier, Farrell Robbins, Ben Gleason, Grant Applegate, and Jordan Hand out there on the speedway. As out in front, it is Winker Nation. Kevin Winker continuing to lead the way. As there we go, you see Josh Crider put himself back onto the lead lap, but Crider's already came down pit side, made that pit stop, and he doesn't seem like he is running that much quicker lap times than our race leader. He's still about a second quicker, but when these cars first came back out onto the racetrack, they were running 2 seconds almost 3 seconds faster than this 42 ride. And actually, Kevin Winker, last time around, picked up the pace there quite a bit. Went from running 32-second lap times back into the 31-second lap area. So I'm not sure if Winker maybe just trying to play a little strategy, save some tire for late in this race, and never really use up these tires until those final few laps. And if Matthew Wood can track him back down, as he's still got about 14.5 seconds between himself and our second place driver here on the speedway, and quite a few cars in between these two right now on the racetrack. It's Thomas Horvath there in third, and there it is, the caution flag on the speedway. Caution flag is going to be displayed, so the yellow flag coming out, and I think this is exactly what Kevin Winker was hoping for here. Now, I'm not sure. It looks like Brian Underwood may have been in this one in the 6 ride. There you go. 6 ride is turned around here. Looks like they kind of get stacked up down in corner number 1 and 2 as they're coming up on slower traffic here of the 38 of Dallas Seward. The 6 ride comes up the racetrack, trying to work underneath him. Unfortunately, goes up and over the nose there of Dallas Seward. Seward getting quite a bit of damage there, as well as Aiden Lucas in the 77. See also the 2 ride getting some contact in that as well. Both ends of the front end of that 77 getting quite a bit of damage there. Heavy contact, heavy damage for Brian Underwood as well. So a few of these drivers that were up and inside the top 5 here running well on the evening, looking to try to take these good runs, good green flag pit stops, and maybe potentially put themselves into winning positions on the speedway. Unfortunately for Brian Underwood, just gets in there a little bit too quick, washes up the racetrack over the nose of slower traffic. Dallas Seward yet to come down pit side, and oh, Jonathan Gaston and Ryan Haller nowhere to go. Noah Blackwell also getting into this one later as well. Oh man, this is a tough one. This one got even worse the longer we watch, ladies and gentlemen. So here you go, the 6 ride up and over the nose of the 38 of Dallas Seward. See that contact there between himself and the 38. Then you see the 77 ride, nowhere to go. Heavy damage there as well on the front end of Landon Burbridge's ride. They also made contact with that 38 down low, but as Jonathan Gaston, or not Jonathan Gaston, the Gaston's graphic designs, the iRacing graphics ride, Brian Underwood rolling down through corner number 1 actually ends up rolling back up and onto the speedway, and as he does, it goes right into the lap here of Jonathan Gaston. Gaston nowhere to go. The 99 rider Ryan Haller nowhere to go. They're expecting the 6 ride to hang on to the binders there and roll down low and not come back up onto the racetrack. Unfortunately, this just happened a little bit too quick, and we saw a ton of cars get tore up here in a quick hurry. Let's take another look at it here as 6 ride up and over the nose of the 38, bounces around here. A lot of our drivers inside the top 5, and then a lot of our drivers outside the top 5, but up inside the top 10 get collected in this one. I'll see the 9 ride of Noah Blackwell, heavy damage in that as well. The 6 ride back up onto the speedway there as the throttle looks like it was hanging there for him. And let's see if we can jump on board here with Noah Blackwell, as I'm sure he had to have seen something happening here. I'm not sure if he really got a great look at it. And in the driver cam here, on the helmet cam, you see not a whole lot coming out of his front windshield. And as he comes around the corner, sees the 6 ride there. Him and the 99 come together. He tries to go down low. Unfortunately, the 99, after the contact, comes down the racetrack as well. You hear that motor expire there for that 9 right after that heavy contact right here. Man, just nothing you can do. He's thinking maybe aimed middle. The 6 ride's already there. Tries to go down low. He can't make up his mind. Unfortunately, not enough time to kind of make some moves. And heavy contact there for the 99 and that 6 ride. Let's take a look here if we can find the number 99 rider Ryan Haller here as well and see his perspective. Is this one? See the 6 ride down low. He washes back up the racetrack, and man, nothing for these guys to do here in this either. There's really no time to react. You see Jonathan Gaston trying to get up and out of the way. Sees that 6 ride coming back up there. Unfortunately, not enough time, and then there's additional contact there between the 99 and that 9 ride. It's a big wreck here. Making some pit strategy maybe pay off for the 42 of Kevin Winker, as Winker now out in front. He leads the way, so Kevin Winker leads this field with Matthew Wood there to his outside. Landon Burbridge there in 3rd. Josh Crider there in 4th. Aiden Lucas back there in 6th as he's got Thomas Horvath there to his inside. William Connolly back in 7th, and Chris Stange back in the 8th position. Brian Underwood back out there on the speedway. He is now being scored as a lap down and in the 9th position. Dallas Seward a lap down as well there in 10th. Nathan Brookover a lap or multiple laps down back here in 11th. Noah Blackwell off the speedway. Jonathan Gaston down pit side. Jordan Crider multiple laps down out there in 14th. Paul LaCourte multiple laps down in 15th here on the speedway. As we're going to go back to Green Flag Racing, Kevin Winker out in front leading the way here. He's going to head down through the Geico restart zone, a late race restart, which may not be our final restart of the evening, but Kevin Winker looking to try to put some maybe fresh tires and some new fuel here in this number 42 ride to work and see if he can keep these drivers back here at bay, but he can't really hang on to it. Contact! Oh, they're going to get together. Landon Burbage down the racetrack into the inside fence. No caution flag as of yet. We do see a lot of drivers running into issues now. Kevin Winker off the pace, and there is the yellow flag. Now the caution flag does come out here as contact a little deeper in the field, but contact here at the front of the pack as well as Kevin Winker leading the way here, but off the pace. So Winker, I don't know if he came down pit side. It looked like he was still on those older tires. Landon Burbage gets a great run as the 16 kind of gets held up behind the 42 ride, and then as they come off of quarter number 2, looks like the 2 maybe gets a little bit loose. The 16 trying to cut down the racetrack, ends up clipping the 2 ride as well and spins the 2 up into the 42 of Kevin Winker. Then Matthew Wood and Landon Burbage come together down the speedway and down into the inside fence in heavy contact here for both of these competitors. See the 16 ride, pretty good contact right there. He's going to end up washing up the racetrack. Luckily enough, stays down and off the racing surface, but quite a bit of damage there for 2 of our top 3 here for most of the evening. We did see some more issues a little farther back as well as they were coming out of quarter number 2. Looked like Josh Crider potentially in this number 69 ride. And the issue, well, looks like he just came down onto the apron, maybe saw that caution flag coming in a quick hurry, but and let's take a look here. Let's take this back. Let's take a look. See if we can diagnose this a little bit more. As that 16 ride fast all evening long. He's led the most laps here on the night. He's all over the back bumper here of Kevin Winker. And then right here tries to go back down the racetrack. And I think just barely clips the back end of this number 2 ride. Just gonna barely scrape him here. I don't know if we'll get a good camera angle at this or not. Maybe right here. 16 just not quite clear of the 2 right there. You see the front end and the back end of the 2 and the 16 come together. That shoves the 2 ride up into Kevin Winker. And then sends the 2 back down the racetrack right into the lap there of Matthew Wood. And this contact down here with the inside wall. The front ends together here, creating quite a bit of contact there for both of those drivers. Quite a bit of damage. Brian Underwood just barely able to avoid that. And this is going to shake things up here even more as we do see Kevin Winker down pit side getting some work done to that number 42 ride. But out in front, it's now Josh Crider who leads the way here at Darlington. So Josh Crider out in front of the field here is our new race leader. William Connolly in second. Thomas Horvath, they are in third. The 2 of Landon Burbage, they are in fourth. Matthew Wood in fifth. Aiden Lucas back there in sixth with Chris Stange. Brian Underwood, our top 8 on the speedway. And then Dallas Seward, they're in ninth. He's the first car 1 lap down. And Kevin Winker still down pit side, has not came back out onto the racetrack yet. So I'm not sure the Winker run ended up with more left front damage than what we initially thought, as he is now a lap down as well and being scored in that 10th position and not rolling back out onto the racetrack. Doesn't look like anytime soon, as we'll try to get him stacked up, racked up, and back out here onto the speedway. But let's see if we can get a camera look inside here of Mr. Crider as he's out in front leading the way here in this one, as my boy Winker, he's in the Facebook chat. I'm sure there's a lot of drivers going to be upset about this one after this race. As Kevin says, what a joke. Wreck the field because you think you're the king. Shit, brother, I can't complain about that one. Listen, I'll let you have that one, but try to keep it minimized here in the comment section. Don't want to get you guys in trouble or anything else. Keep it clean, keep it fun. Unfortunate contact, unfortunate break there. And unfortunately, a lot of drivers getting tore up right there. And I'm sure you're not the only one not feeling good about tonight's caution flags. And Darlington always creating some pretty pretty crazy racing out there, as we do see the webcam on here of our new race leader, the 5 ride, the Front Row Motorsports Denver Mattresses number 5. That is a throwback here to Regan Smith's ride all the way back in 2012, and it is Mr. Crider at the front of the field. Can Josh Crider hang on and pick up the win here this evening? Or we see William Connolly maybe try to get that 25 ride up into victory lane here to his inside. The 2 rider, Landon Burbage, still there within striking distance. So isn't Aiden Lucas. And the 16 rider, Matthew Wood, not out of this race, but does that contact, does the damage that he may have gotten affect that car enough to keep him out of victory lane here this evening? We're going to find out here as our next green, or not our next green-white checker, but our next restart here on the evening. Feels like it's a green-white checkered as the intensity picking up here for all these drivers is down through the Geico restart zone. The number 5 ride getting a pretty decent jump right there, a pretty decent start as he rolls to the front of the field. A little contact back there behind him. William Connolly trying to hang on as the plane is saved. Number 25 ride rolls here in position number 2 on the speedway. See the Skull Bandit 2 rider, Landon Burbage, trying to hunt him down. The 54 of Thomas Horvath, the 16 of Matthew Wood, all right there is Wood now up and inside the top 4 here on the speedway, but out in front it's Josh Crider who leads the way. Now you see the 2 ride down low here, looking for a big run to the inside of William Connolly. Oh, things are going to get tight. They almost made contact. More contact. Oh, the 2 right almost going around Landon Burbage. Going to take it down onto the apron. He's going to get stopped here on the racetrack, but no caution flag as we stay green flag racing with the 2 rider, Landon Burbage, now deep in the field and back in the 8th position. That's going to keep Josh Crider out in front. William Connolly there in second. Matthew Wood now in position number 3 as Thomas Horvath leads the, well, he's here in position number 4 in looking for more, and Aiden Lucas rounding out our top 5 here on the speedway. We do see Matthew Wood now working himself around the 25 right of William Connolly. So only one driver between himself and what could possibly be another checkered flag here for the National Guard. Number 16 of Matthew Wood as he's looking to try to bring this number 16 ride home and into victory lane. Is not only is there that taste of victory and all the extra points that go with it, but he can also earn himself an extra $50 payday here this evening if he can get this number 16 right into victory lane. Now I'm not sure, I do believe the number Josh Crider as well, another one of those drivers. If he can find victory lane, there's a $50 extra payday here from Jonathan Gaston running his throwback paint schemes here on the evening. Wood and Mr. Crider are both 2 of those drivers that could potentially earn themselves that extra payday here this evening. So they're racing for a little bit of money on the line as well, and that makes things that much more competitive. Is down to the inside here in quarter number 3. The 16 with 8 laps left to go, looking for the race lead. Crider up into the outside fence. The 16 of Matthew Wood will cruise control around him, and Matthew Wood is going to take this race lead back away and put himself back to the front of the field. So out in front is that number 16 machine once again. As we take a look a little farther back here, we saw some contact. I did see that the 25 and I think the 54 coming together here. Let's play this back a little bit more right here. So the 54 Ryan going to get a big run, drives it down low here deep, looking for the slide job over William Connolly for position number 3 here on the speedway. He unfortunately just cannot clear that 25. They come together. It sends the 54 and the 25 up into the outside fence there. Heavy damage for both competitors. They both end up down pit side here, and heavy damage for both drivers there on the speedways. Now Thomas Horvath back in position number 9 down pit road here. We do see the 25 of William Connolly without that hood and the front end damage, still rolling on the speedway, currently in that 6th spot here on the racetrack. As Matthew Wood out in front leading the way here. He's got about 7/10 of a second between himself and Josh Crider. Is Crider rolling there in position number 2. Both these drivers looking to pounce, looking to try to put themselves up into victory lane here this evening as they are duking it out here on the racetrack. We'll take a look here at what they're thinking and what's going between their minds here as they roll on the speedway. We'll get the webcams on for our first and second place drivers here as the laps continue to count down here for the premium Stock Car Racing League, the Elrod Strong 150 here this evening, powered by Gaston's iRacing Graphics. The 5 right of Josh Crider over on the right-hand side wearing the red t-shirt, trying to hunt down the 16 of Matthew Wood. Is Wood looking for another checker flag? He's the webcam up above us on the far left-hand side. A little bit dark to see that 16, but I'm sure you're going to see the excitement come out of him if he can pick up another win here in the premium Stock Car Racing League. As he is out in front, Mama Bear says, come on, number 16, cheer it on, Matthew Wood, here this evening as these drivers have been elbows up and duking it out here all night long. These guys have been battling hard here all evening, and it comes down to these final few laps. Matthew Wood, 1.8 seconds now between himself and Josh Crider. As Crider trying to hold on to position number 2. He's got Aiden Lucas in the beautiful Beyond Detailing number 77 ride right there on his back bumper as Aiden Lucas looking to pull himself up into position number 2. Chris Stange back there in 4th, and we see Brian Underwood in that 5th position. William Connolly back there in 6th, Landon Burbage back in 7th, Dallas Seward up into 8th, and then we see Thomas Horvath there in position number 9, and Nathan Brookover rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway. But it's the 16 of Matthew Wood who leads the way. He's rolling up onto some lap traffic as that's Kevin Winker right there in front of him as the white flag has been displayed. So one more time around here. Contact! The 42 and the 16 come together. Contact between lap traffic and our race leader Matthew Wood and the number 69 get together. Here comes Josh Crider. Crider with a big head of steam to the outside looking for the race lead down the back straightaway. Josh Crider now to the lead down into corner number 3. Nice and easy into corner number 4. The 77 to Aiden Lucas into the outside fence, but down, in, and across the line. It's the 5 right of Josh Crider picking up the win here in this one. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what in the world did we just see transpire here at the end of this race as Josh Crider is going to pick up the win, and he is absolutely pumped. He is celebrating. Look at the emotion on his face. I'm sure the 16 ride is gutted right now with Matthew Wood after the contact between himself and Kevin Winker. Lap traffic coming into play on that final lap, and Crider, he is, I think he might be loving every minute of it as he's going to get ready to celebrate here on the front straightaway. Now, not only does he get the win, he gets the extra points, and he also gets a $50 payday brought to you by Gaston's iRacing Graphics as our main sponsor here this evening, and wearing one of those Gaston iRacing Graphics throwback paint schemes here. Josh Crider with the win, picking up the dub here this evening. You see him up there in the top right. He is absolutely pumped. He's doing the burnouts. He is excited to be here in victory lane, and we can't wait to pull this number 5 right up here into victory lane and get his thoughts here on that final lap contact. We may have to take a look back and see that contact here real quick and play this one back and see what happened as contact between Kevin Winker in Matthew Wood. We saw this one coming. Winker definitely not happy with the contact there. Our second to last caution, or our last caution flag here on the evening that him, the 16, and the 2 ride got into. He comes up, he throws a big block here on the 16 ride. Matthew Wood going to come in, give him a shot there into the back bumper. This is going to get the 16 ride turned around and sideways here on the speedway, right in front of our race leader in Wood. Nowhere to go, unfortunately, tied up in this one. They gets up, pancakes the outside fence, loses a ton of speed, even with an over 2-second lead advantage here between himself and Josh Crider. That contact closed the gap in a quick quick hurry, and here comes that 5 ride. Josh Crider with a whole head of steam chasing him down, gonna jump to the outside. Good move there by the 16, give him the lane there, not gonna block him, trying to ruin the 5 rides race as Josh Crider is gonna jump out in front and nice and easy through quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4. He hits those quarters absolutely perfectly and drives himself into victory lane here at the Lady in Black Darlington Raceway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for our race winner, Josh Crider, as Crider gets it done and pulls himself up here into victory lane for the L-Rod Strong to 150 here this evening. We'll get ready to pull this number 5 right up here into victory lane, man. What a run and what a drive there for Josh Crider. Let's get him up here into the booth right now, ladies and gentlemen. My gosh, what a wild finish to this race. Let's make sure his webcam's turned on here as well, as I'm sure he is going to be absolutely pumped about picking up the win here this evening. But what a run, what a race, what a finish to this one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, drop a comment in the chat. What do you think there of the actions late in this race? Let us know in the comment section what you guys think here about the finish. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it deserved or was it not deserved? We want to know here in the comment section right now. Drop a couple comments. Let us know your thoughts here on how this race ended as we get ready to pull our race winner up here into the booth. Hey Josh, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth to get a copy.
I got you, man.
Josh, brother, man, what a run, what a win here for you. I don't know if I'd say this one was gifted or not, because it may have been gift-wrapped there by the 42 of Kevin Winker as he makes contact with the 16 ride on that final lap, and it opens up the door for you to blow the doors off that 16 down the back straightaway to jump out in front and pick up the win here at the Lady in Black this evening, and picking up the win at the L-Rod Strong 150 here this evening, man. Take us back through that final restart and then that contact there from your perspective on that final lap.
Yeah, you know, you say in racing, you know, it's better to be lucky than, you know, sorry, or whatever the terminology is. But, you know, do you want to win like that? No, but it's a win. And man, I have absolutely struggled so bad this week, and I've been horrible. I'm overwhelmed with emotion right now. You know, I crossed the finish line. I was in tears, and I don't think I've ever felt that emotion before behind the wheel. So,
absolutely, brother. We saw that emotion. We had the webcam on there for you, and we have it on right now as well. So give the crowd a wave. But we saw the emotion there. We saw, you know, how happy you were to be in victory lane. We couldn't quite tell whether or not you were crying or laughing there as you crossed the start-finish line after seeing Matthew Wood, you know, take this race lead away from you with about 7 laps left to go. He was pulling away as you and Aiden Lucas battled there for position number 2. I'm sure coming down to the wire, you were just, you know, trying to bring it home in a solid P2 here on the evening. And coming out of quarter number 4, seeing that white flag fly, did you think you had an opportunity? Did you think you had a chance at picking up the win here tonight?
You know, you always hope that you have a chance, right? I mean, no, I mean, honestly, it's Matthew Wood. It's the greatest driver I've ever, you know, really raced against, especially in PSCRL. And I've been so bad, right? Like, I was almost a full second off the pace in practice, and just that final run, that final restart, just, I don't know, it just started running better. I can't explain it. And I want to give props to their 77 too. We were running really clean there in rough, and we kind of touched a little bit too. So, but you know, he gave space when he necessarily didn't have to, and I'm very thankful for that. And I'm locked into the playoffs, baby.
Absolutely. Locking yourself into the playoffs, earning those extra bonus points as well, man. What a run, what a win here for you this evening, man. A very emotional one. We're happy to see you get this car up into victory lane. And now, to what I read in our Discord chat earlier on, is that not only did you pick up that win and those extra points, but you also earned an extra $50 from Gasson's iRacing Graphics here as well. For them being the sponsor of this race, they threw up that extra $50 of one of the throwback paint schemes done by Gas and iRacing Graphics ended up into Victory Lane would earn that extra $50, so you get that extra payday as well here on this Saturday night.
Yeah, it's a little ironic that I'm running the Regan Smith 2011 Southern 500 car. You know, Jimmy Johnson, Regan Smith were always my favorites, and I liked rooting for the underdog, and he won right here at Darlington as an underdog in a very similar fashion with, you know, strategy and struggling all night. And I just, you know, I think that's pretty cool that this paint scheme won at this track and, you know, this race. And I think Gaston, and he's helped us out financially too a little bit, and this season I appreciate that. And I want to give a shout out to, you know, the Elrod Strong 150. You know, I know that you interviewed Gaston at the beginning. I hope that young gentleman recovers and, you know, gets back to life as usual. And just a shout out, you know, if his friends and family are watching, any of the students at the school are watching, then I really, really, really appreciate it. And, you know, I know that you're going to have a full recovery, and, you know, things happen in life. We don't understand it. We don't understand why we go through things that we do. But it makes us stronger. And I know that one day, kiddo, you'll be able to tell a story about it, and, you know, be strong and have a great life ahead of you. So I also want to thank my my sponsors tonight. Obviously, Gaston's iRacing Graphics, Lonnie Crider for financially helping us out. I want to give a shout out to Ben Gleason for also helping us out this season. AdminBoxx for giving me the ability to throw the cautions and wave black flags. Just everybody that helps us. We couldn't do it without you guys, you know, tuning in on Peacemaker. And you know, I'm very humble and very, very thankful to be able to talk to you tonight.
Absolutely, brother. I knew it was only a matter of time before we'd see you up here in Victory Lane in one of these races. I didn't think it would be under this sort of circumstance or this kind of, finish, but nonetheless, we're super proud, super happy to see you up here into Victory Lane. No better time to do it than here this evening at what is probably one of the toughest racetracks on the schedule here at the Darlington Raceway here this evening. Josh, congratulations on the great run, the strong performance here tonight, brother. Is there anyone else you'd like to thank here for such a great performance?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody that tunes in. Obviously, I know my uncle Lonnie's watching. I know that I believe that if it's not too late, that Kirsten and her kiddos are watching. They always watch every week. One of my coworkers, and I really appreciate the support from those guys, and just, you know, everybody. I mean, 17 people are watching right now, it looks like, and we're well beyond the checkered flag. So, awesome night, awesome race overall. And I'll stop being long-winded and get off the interview, and we'll move on to the Dega Duels, right?
Absolutely,
My best track besides Daytona. So let's go get two more.
All right, brother. Well, we look forward to seeing you back out there, and hopefully right back up here into Victory Lane, you know, a couple more times here before we head into our premium Stock Car Racing League playoffs in a, what's going to be, a little while, but it's going to feel like a few short months here as the playoffs right around the corner. And now you get a little bit of weight off your shoulder, and maybe a little, a little extra time to kind of focus on getting your teammates or anyone else up and into the playoffs as well, as you get that weight off your shoulder now locked in to our playoffs here in the league.
Yeah, I look forward to getting, Chris is in the playoffs, locked in with a win. I'm in the playoffs, locked in the win now. I hope to get, Brian, my brother, hopefully at Talladega, get Ben in, Conley, Horvath, everybody. I would love to get everybody in. Certainly Ben had a hard night with, some brainless driving out there. So hopefully we can get that cleared up and get him into the playoffs with a win too. So you have a good night, and thank you again for everybody that's watching, and God bless.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and congratulations on the win once again. And enjoy this victory, but don't party too hard down there in Victory Lane, as we'll see you back out here next Saturday.
Let's have a cherry Coke, baby.
Absolutely, brother. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner Our race winner here this evening, Josh Crider, as Josh pulls himself up into victory lane here in that number 5 ride here this evening. Unfortunately for Matthew Wood, he'll have to settle in for position number 2. We'll get ready to pull our second place driver up here into the broadcast booth. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if there are words said here that are inappropriate, any small children, I do say, mind the P's and Q's here, and we apologize for maybe any foul conversation that may progress here between us and the 16 rides. I'm sure Matthew, he's a very good Christian boy. I'm sure he's not going to say anything too bad or swear or anything else, but he's had some time to cool down here, and I'm sure not going to be very happy with the move there out of the 42 of Kevin Winker. I'm sure Kevin Winker was not very happy, clearly, with the move out of the 16 ride and the 2 ride there to bring out that final caution flag before we saw the 16 and the 42 come together there on that final lap. As we'll pull our second place driver, Matthew Wood, up here into the broadcast booth here for this one. Hey, Matthew, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Mm-hmm.
Matthew, brother, a tough one here in this one, man. You led a lot of laps, the most laps here out of any driver this evening. You were looking, to bring home another win on the season. Down across the line, the white flag. You see the 42 right, Kevin Winker right there in front of you. Unfortunately, after contact between you guys in the yellow flag beforehand, clearly maybe not happy with the move, maybe not happy with the contact between you guys, and unfortunately more contact there down into corner number 1. As you get into the back end of him, it spins him around right in front of you, and unfortunately brings you back here into position number 2 as Josh Crider was able to clear up that 2-second gap that you were able to build late in this race. You see it evaporate in your rearview mirror. You see Josh make the move to get around you, and he drives away with the win here at Darlington Raceway. Man, take us through, that final lap and what's going through your mind here after a gutting second place finish here this evening.
Oh, I've never been more angry in my life, to be honest. And I very much expressed it over chat, and I think I should have, and I have the right to. I even backed the corner up like 300 or 400 meters before I was supposed to even let off the gas, and I was trail braking going into the corner because he was going so slow, and then he started to drift up the track, and I was like, okay, is he letting me by? And then as soon as I get to the bottom, he just cuts me off. Straight up just cuts me off. And then he spins in front of me, Josh takes the win. Good on Josh, I'm happy that it was him, but in all reality, it should be Landon. And I guess I kind of deserve it, and a lot of people aren't agreeing with me on this, but I kind of deserve it for killing Landon. A horrible misjudgment killed him and Winker, and I don't know if Winker just wanted to get revenge on me or what. I really don't know. And he's calling me the impatient one, so I'll definitely talk it over with him, whether that be on the track or I'll probably talk to him this week sometime, but I don't know. I don't know. Like, I had led every lap, hardest track in NASCAR. My left hand's, I can't move it anymore. And I had it in the bag, and then he just does that. And, Landon then gets to run really tight by Conley. And then when he gets run tight by Conley, he starts to lose it. I'm on the brakes. I can't do anything. I hit him again. So I was even more angry about that. I was more angry at myself than anybody this race. But, that's what happened is ridiculous. And I don't really know. I'm just going to need time to process it because, he said that I was just trying to pass him aggressively, and I wasn't even trying to pass him. He just checked up and checked up and checked up, and then he started to go up the racetrack and came right back down on me. So I don't know. But again, good on Josh. Having that back surgery, and haven't really asked him how that's going. Actually, I need to check up on that. But apparently, it's going good. So that's good. But if I won this race, I was going to give all the $50 to Landon. But same thing as the Auto Club, I guess.
Yeah, Gunner here in this one for you, brother. We hear the emotion there in your voice. A tough loss, but still, at the end of the day, a good run, a good finish at least for yourself. Able to get yourself some, extra points there with the stage wins and being able to come home here in second. Obviously, not the way you wanted this race to finish. I'm sure even Josh and a lot of these other drivers didn't want to see the race end that way, but we can't change what happened out there on the racetrack at this point, unfortunately. And you're able to bring it home though, onto the trailer, and still in fairly one piece out there on the racetrack, and home in a second place run here. Another solid performance, another great race by you. You have to be happy with the performance out of that 16 ride here all evening long. Matthew, who would you like to thank for such a great run out there on the racetrack?
By the way, I'm gonna see who has the replay, because I want a sound clip, because I don't think I've ever came over chat and actually yelled at somebody, but it wasn't pretty. I probably shouldn't have, but I did it. And no, Gaston made this beautiful scheme. I have the diecast sitting right in front of me. It's 2006, I believe. Patriotic from Greg Biffle. Love that car. 9/11 week. I ran a memorial last night and got wrecked in stage 1 at Atlanta. Came back through. I think I was 10 laps down, but I came from 37th to 25th. And my teammate won the closest finish I think ever recorded in iRacing. .000 was the margin. It literally tied. They literally tied. So that was cool to see. Good on Aiden, by the way. Aiden finished 3rd. And he's next up in here. He just joined the waiting room. Yeah, it should have been a MDW Motorsports 123, but I guess from what I haven't looked at it, and I'm not going to say anything about it, but apparently Brian sent it in and body checked Dallas into the wall, and that killed both my teammates. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to say whether it was Dallas or Brian or who it was. And it's basically impossible to pass here. So yeah, I don't know.
Definitely very tough racetrack. The heat of the summer still coming out here for all these drivers. A lot of contact, a lot of rubbing and scrubbing here in this one. But Matthew, you bring it home here in position number 2, man. Is there anyone else you'd like to thank for such a great run here before we bring in your teammate there in the 77 ride, Aiden Lucas, up here into the booth?
Again, just them. Thank the Lord for the opportunity. My school, they've done everything to protect us. Apparently they found a note in the hallway that said there was going to be a incident. I probably can't say it on YouTube, but yeah, an incident at the school, and they decided to shut the whole school down for that day. There was, I think, 15 schools on Friday the 13th that got that same message. So just a terrible, terrible thing to do. If you're thinking of doing that, just talk to somebody. There's people to talk to. Please don't do that.
Definitely a crazy world we live in, but Matthew, a great run, a great race here for you, brother. A tough way to see this one finish, but good to see you back up here in the broadcast booth here this evening under these circumstances, and be able to keep it together there for the most part and not get yourself into any more trouble out there on the racetrack. But Matthew, a great run, great drive, and we can't wait to see you back out here on the racetrack for the Talladega Duels next week.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Matthew Wood as Wood comes home there in position number 2. A great run, a solid drive, a solid performance here all evening long by that number 16 ride. Unfortunate ending there for him, but still a pretty good run and a great finish here for the number 77 of Aiden Lucas. Comes home here in position number 3. A great run and a great drive there for Aiden. We're going to pull him up into the Discord here as the Beyond Detailing 77 ride coming home in 3rd. We'll pull him up into the booth. Hey Aiden, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
10-4, good buddy. How you doing?
Not too bad, Aiden, man. A great run, a solid performance here for you all night long, and late in this one as the craziness was kind of unfolding, you were able to kind of pick them off one at a time there late in this one, and able to work yourself back up here into a solid, third place finish. We saw you battling late in this race with that 5 right of Mr. Josh Crider, and really as the contact was made there between the 42 and the 16, it was either one of your guys' game. I wasn't sure who was going to get there first, who was going to be able to get the line, to be able to take that lead and that win away from that 16 right down the back straightaway. Fortunately, it wasn't yourself, but you got to be pretty happy with the outcome here on the evening and your performance behind the wheel.
Yeah, definitely. It was a solid run here at Darlington. Yeah, all I can say about that last lap is I was just praying that Josh hit Winker there, so I could have an easy road to the finish. But some things aren't meant to be. But I felt like it was a nice, good, solid run for our Beyond Detailing number 77 Chevrolet Camaro. Hopefully something to build off of. Unfortunately, I'll be missing the duels next week, so gotta keep an eye on those points.
Absolutely, definitely going to keep an eye on those points, but if you win, you're in here on the series, so a couple more races, well, a few more races here left in the regular season to try to work yourself into these playoffs, and as you continue to progress and get quicker and quicker week after week, I'm sure without a doubt here, before one of these nights, we're probably going to see the 77 right up here into victory lane.
Oh, that's always the goal, right? Just got to work on getting faster and getting more consistent because Wood's up there. He's an alien, man. Like being in the party with him, I'm just trying to learn what I can. But, it's all a learning process. I started iRacing in late December, so, still got room to grow.
Absolutely, tons of room to grow, and we're seeing that more and more here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League as you keep on getting better and better every week. And here tonight, you're able to find your way up inside the top 3 for a solid podium finish. Aiden, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here all evening long?
First off, like to thank Beyond Detailing. One of my buddies out here in the Bay Area in California, he started up a detailing business, and he'll take your car above and beyond, that's for sure. So everybody, if you need detail, go to him. But no, just like to thank my teammates. They really kind of helped me out there. I didn't get much practice this week, and yeah, they're rock stars. They kill it every week.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we can't wait to see you back in action a couple weeks from today, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth.
Thank you very much, Peacemaker.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and congratulations again on the 3rd place run.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 3rd place finisher, Aiden Lucas. Is Aiden coming home there in position number 3? And great run and a great drive. His Beyond Detailing says, hey, that's me. Let's go, baby. Let's go. That's you, Beyond Detailing, getting a good shout out there by your driver, Mr. Aiden Lucas, here this evening after a solid top 3 run. You're going to have to throw a little extra money into his back pocket maybe after a performance like that, giving you a lot of airtime here this evening up inside the top 3, top 5 all night long. Man, Aiden doing a great job here this evening, getting a lot of airtime there for the Beyond Detailing rides and crew here this evening. As unfortunately, that will do it for us though on the night, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Absolutely amazing race, absolutely crazy finish here on the evening, but we saw some great battling back and forth out there on the racetrack. We had a few moments of shine out there, as well as we saw some good laps, some good long stretches there without too much controversy, and then we saw, unfortunately, a few times drivers getting together, drivers having issues out there, and some drivers butting heads late in this race to create some controversy here at the end of this one. But nonetheless, it was a ton of fun and a great race. The Elrod Strong 150, man, putting on a show for us here this evening from Darlington Raceway. Huge shout out to our race winner here once again, Josh Crider, being able to be in the right place at the right time to put himself into victory lane here this evening. And a huge shout out to Gaston's iRacing Graphics for being our main sponsor here on the evening with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button on the broadcast. And if you guys want to help us out more and more here on Peacemaker Gaming with any type of donation, there's donation buttons in every one of our broadcasts, but you can also become an exclusive member of the Peacemaker family. Hit the join button over on the YouTube channel, or hit the subscribe button over on Facebook and Twitch to be able to gain exclusive content here on Peacemaker Gaming. Also gain a little bit extra with, stickers as we get those flowing into the stream as well. And we also get some more things unlocked for all of our members and subscribers here on the evening. And I do believe it's only $2.99 over on YouTube. Very reasonable price. It allows you guys to miss out on, I do believe, on all the commercials, so you don't get commercials throughout the races or anything else. Ads don't play, as unfortunately we gotta have ads on with YouTube partnership here, so unfortunately we gotta have the ads on. But if you guys become members, you don't have to watch those ads. And same with Twitch as well. You don't have to watch the ads over there on the Purple site by becoming a supporter here on Peacemaker Gaming and helping us out with the day-to-day operations here in the broadcast booth. But listen, I can't thank you guys enough just for tuning in, showing up, showing the love, dropping the comments, hitting the like button, and being a part of the comment section here all evening long. Absolutely helps the stream out a ton, and I appreciate each and every one of you for coming in and showing the love here this evening. Unfortunately, that will do it for us here tonight. We will see you guys back in action tomorrow evening as we get ready for, I believe, season number 8 of the Outcast Racing League. About to get underway tomorrow evening, and it's a big one. It's going to be absolutely massive here tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Time when we go green flag racing with the Outcast Racing League to start their brand new season here tomorrow evening. So make sure you guys tune into that one. Make sure you guys have those bell notifications turned on. That way you never miss it when we go live here on Peacemaker Gaming. But I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.
Everybody. Engines roaring loud and proud. Track is hot, fans are wild. Speeds are climbing high and fast. Racing dreams are built to last. Drivers ready, hearts are strong. Victory feels like a song. Wheels they spin, rubber burns. Corners come and swiftly turn. Drivers ready, hearts are strong. Victory feels like a song. Wheels they spin, rubber burns. Corners come and swiftly turn. Race to the finish line. Feel the rush, it's time to shine. Pushing metal, pure and fine. In this premium racing grind. Race to the finish line. Feel the rush, it's time to shine. Pushing metal, pure and fine. In this premium racing grind. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Grind. Uh-oh. Racing grind. Pit crew ready, tools in hand. Every second by a strand. Fuel and tires, quick change. Back to track and destined range. Oh. Pit crew ready, tools in hand. Every second by a strand. Strand. Fuel and tires, quick change. Back to track and destined range. Oh. Race to the finish line. Feel the rush, it's time to shine. Pushing metal, pure and fine. In this premium racing grind.